Well, hello there. Good evening and welcome once again to the Friday Rock Show. This is Tommy Vance, and I hope you're having a really good Christmas. Tonight, for the whole 2 hours, this program is dedicated to the music of AC/DC, and also the music that the members of AC/DC happen to like and play at home. So you are now cordially invited to lock yourselves into 2 hours of AC/DC's Christmas party. If this was a working men's club,
Yes.
and you were in Newcastle,
Yeah.
and you weren't doing all the accents,
Aye.
what would you be doing on a Christmas night?
Christmas night. Well, apart from the obvious thing, getting drunk, Tommy, I'd be a lot happier than I was sitting in Boston in America. Not that there's anything wrong with Boston, but I wish I was home. You know what I mean? That's the only difference.
But when you find that you actually think that way, that you'd like to be home,
Aye.
I mean, what is the difference between being on the road and being at home?
I don't know, Tommy, it's when you are home, you see, the thing about Newcastle, Tommy, is it's the worst drug in the world. And I'm serious. Because when you get back there, you're dead happy for about 5, 6, 7 days. And you see all your mates, everybody's out of work. It's really annoying. And then after about a week, you want to be away because it's so depressing. You get away one day. First day you're away, you go to New York. You're in New York one day. Of course, where do you want to be? You want to be back in Newcastle. It's like all the rest of the boys like living like Hawaii, Holland, Australia, lovely sunny places.
All the supposed glamorous places.
Exactly, and I could go and live there if I wanted, and that's what I hate Newcastle for, because I love it so much and it keeps drawing us back. It's a swine, it really is. No, it's a funny thing it's a funny question to ask, but it's true. I love it. I cannot get myself away from it.
By the same token, you've been out of work yourself quite a number of times.
For a long time, Tony.
I mean,
Long time.
You're a good duck and dive merchant, so you've always earned a living. I mean, you've never stopped.
Oh, aye.
You've got a family to look after. You've always looked after your family, right?
Aye, yeah.
But you've seen the hard times, and now you're experiencing the good times.
Yeah. Well, it is a good times, really. I mean, I've got to admit, it's a great way to make a living when you're really enjoying yourself. You know what I mean? I mean, when you go out on stage like this tonight and there's all the kids there going crazy and you're really enjoying what you're doing. Lucky, really, I think. Lucky, really. Lucky, really, yeah. No, it is. It's great, man. You've got the old dartboard in the back and the bar.
You've still got to go on.
Oh, yeah.
You've still got to go on the stage. You still have to do it every night. You're doing X number of gigs all over the blooming world all the time.
Oh, yeah. But the great thing is when you go backstage, first of all, and you're playing darts and all that, those 16 or 20,000 kids don't seem such a threat anymore because you're worrying about getting through to the next round of the darts final.
$10 a head.
At $10 a head, it's £200. The winner gets 200 quid. I'll tell you, it's a big thing. You know, I mean, the gig's important, but by God, your darts. No, it's good because it makes it feel a little bit like home, you know. And the old, the club will have Backstage, which is called the Bell End Club. Excuse me. And it's called a Bell End Club. And, and we'll have like a membership. The crew's got to buy a membership ticket and all that. It's all it is just escapism from because when all the lads are on the road in America, it really does. It starts crippling you. You start not being able to go to sleep till about 7 in the morning. And your whole work, your whole life's just totally knocked on the head. Everything. And I don't know. It just helps you to think about being at home. Darts, Yeah,
but what you're basically doing is creating for yourself a little sort of mini British environment.
That's what it is. We're just cheating. We're just pretending that we're back in England. Then all of a sudden we're snapped out of it as soon as the curtains open and you hear the crowd starting to go crazy, you realise, this is for real. We're back in the real world again. and all your little foibles and your little sayings that you say to each other before you go on. It's all forgotten, and you got to get down to some hard work.
On the album that's out now.
Yeah.
It's young writers.
Yeah.
I mean, you really have immersed yourself in as a writer.
I enjoy being called a writer. It sounds good, doesn't it? A writer. It sounds good. It sounds as though you know what you're talking about.
Or singing, right?
It's good. I really enjoy it because I never had a chance before to do it. I always fancied it, but I never had a chance. And the great thing about Malcolm and Angus just said, well, there's the tunes,
But the lyrics.
do something about it, And the good thing is that Malcolm and Angus will come in and help you with the lyrics, or the look at them, because Malcolm and Angus always say you should have never have anything political in your songs, nothing racist, nothing nothing that might upset anybody. And the whole point about rock and roll is to have fun. Chuck Berry proved it. All his lyrics. Look at Chuck Berry. He was chucked in prison more times than enough
because of not paying his tax.
Yeah, I nearly went out paying his tax. But a lot of times, he was thrown in because of his colour, and because he played the devil's music. And as I was telling you before, Tommy, we know the AC/DC are the biggest threat to Christianity in the world at the moment in America.
Well, according to people in Chicago and Detroit.
Yeah, we are the biggest threat in the world to Christianity. And in his time, Chuck Berry was the same. So getting back to the lyrics, as you say, when we write the songs, I mean, we don't make a conscious effort, but all we do is just sort of say, well, let's just keep it fun, but at the same time, not dirty. Let's keep it dirty, everybody likes a little bit of filth, but at the same, as long as it's good fun filth and it's nothing, nothing silly. And then you get your serious songs, like For Those About to Rock was a serious attempt just to say to everybody, thank you. I've been in a band a year and 8 months now, and I know that before I joined, the band went through a lot of stick. Every critic in the world, every newspaper in the world slagged them off as nothing more than, this is just chainsaw rock and roll, just cuts right through you. Forget it. And they're starting to realise now that it is just genuine rock and roll, and whether it's got a place in history or not, we don't care. Rock and roll.
Things about what you're doing now is that there's no addition.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be at the stage of your career, the band's at the stage of their career, which of course now includes you, whereby you could include any other form of instrumentation you like.
Aye.
The latest album includes nothing but what the band does.
Well, exactly. I think that's important to it, Tommy. Do you not? I mean, when people go to see the band, if the band can't sound exactly, I don't mean exactly like the record, but I mean like as raw as the record. When they listen to the singer singing or the guitarist playing, they say to themselves, that's what I imagine them to sound like on stage. Malcolm is the man who really takes a lot of pride and thought into those kind of things. I think every band's got to have a man like that, who stops and thinks of the music, the kids. His first thing is the kids. His second thing is the sound on an album. The third thing is the stage act, And I think he's got it dead right. The kids first. He always wants to keep that sort of street level viability, that where kids can say, oh no, that's still one of the boys.
Or conversely, maybe he just wants to make it sound like he believes it ought to sound. In other words, something that he enjoys doing.
Yeah, aye. And I think it's right, we can go off stage and the kids can be going crazy. And and you can come off stage and you can go, it just wasn't right tonight. And I think that's great. It's real healthy in a band where you don't just say, oh well, we know we didn't sound that good tonight to us on stage, to ourselves, but the kids enjoyed it, so what, And I think it's real healthy when every night the boys come off stage, every one of them, and they're sitting talking about, well, this wasn't right tonight. got to get it right next night, and that wasn't right. And it's all the time trying to improve and improve. It's got to be healthy, Tommy, you know. Got to be.
But it doesn't happen that way every time. I mean, no way does every stage performance, because so many people are involved.
Yeah,
Every stage performance reach up to your expectations.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the guys tonight and the crew, they had to drive all the way down from Montreal through all the snow. I mean, you can see the conditions outside, and they've had to put that equipment up tonight in Boston Gardens, get it up, and they've had about 2 hours before we came on. Now, tomorrow night, it'll probably be a vast improvement from tonight on stage for us. But outside, they always get the outside sounding good first. See, their gig is to get their kids to enjoy it. Obviously, their job is to get a good sound on stage, but if they're rushed, they've got to make sure their first priority is for the kids to have a good sound. As Malcolm said to you the other night, you know, like about Donington, you know, about the sound of Donington. We had a great sound on stage. We had a ball. I enjoyed every minute of it, and there's nothing more disappointing than afterwards. And a couple of kids who were standing right at the back who was talking to you and say, we didn't hear anything. No, you're really, you know, you're doing like it, you know, it's terrible.
Who was the first singer that you ever heard that impressed you?
Oh, gotta be Eric Burden, Tommy.
No, you're not saying that because you come from Newcastle?
No, I'm not. I must sound a bit prejudiced, actually, that much. But it's not, actually. The first bloke had to be Eric Burden that I thought was singing with it. With, you know, like with bags of feel in his voice. And it sounded as though he meant what he was saying. Cocker was a man after that.
Let's stay with Eric Burden for a minute. And would you care to sort of nominate something that you think is maybe, as far as you're concerned, the best thing he ever did?
Oh, right. I've got about 3. It's about 3 songs I really like that he did. But I think we got to get out of this place. It's, you know...
maybe that you like that because it could have been that he was actually wishing to get out of what he came from?
Yeah, and Tommy, you say I was in a band called Geordie before I joined the boys here, and we played at social clubs, and there's some good ones, and Tommy, there's some real bad ones, I'm telling you. There's some stinkers. And we used to do it on stage, and when I sang it with feeling. I mean, a lot of feeling when I said we got to get out of this.
You want it out?
And it was just a great song, you know. It was bags of feel, and it was so earthy and so it sounds so amateurish now when you hear it. You know, like the production and everything.
Sure, the backing and the production.
But it's,
the vocal doesn't sound that.
But it's oh no, that's what I mean. You know, he was a gaffer, man. You know, he was the gaffer.
Getting away from say somebody like it, who else did you find to be extremely impressive?
Cocker. Robert Plant's excellent, and I've got to stop and think because I'm sure I'm going to miss some singers who I really appreciate, you know. And that's the only time.
Let's focus on Robert Plant. Of all the things that Led Zeppelin, which do you think is the most sort of soulful thing? Because you essentially, I've always thought of you as a soul singer. You sing rock and roll, you're very soulful in the way you deliver your words.
I don't know, it's difficult. No, you see, the first one that really hit me hard was Dazed and Confused. You know, and I thought he was real soulful there. He was, I'm sorry, Robert, if you're out there, sorry, kiddo. He probably disagreed with me totally. But it was a real, you know, he was singing, like, you know, with bags of feel. He's probably listening to this and saying I was mortal in the studio when I sang it, I don't know. But no, I really, that one, The Immigrant Song was another one, which you cannot sing that song. I defy Robert Plant to stand here now and sing that song just out loud. So, you know, for me, and he was one of the first lads to hit that kind of barrier, you know, where singers, you know, were going, Jesus, who's that? Who's singing up there, you know? There was plenty. And the great thing is I like about Led Zeppelin as well, they never pushed themselves, they just kept themselves quiet and let the music do all the talking. And that's what I like about. I don't know, this band's done it. This band's done it. The AC/DC have always been sort of quiet. I mean, we never, you know, they don't do many interviews at all. just keep themselves to themselves, because basically the thing is that they want them just to talk to their fans and the audience, you know. As the boys say, there's 3 gigs in the world, you know. There's only 3 gigs in the world. It's a Newcastle Mayfair, Glasgow Apollo, and a Hammersmith Odeon. It's true.
No talk, just rock and roll.
What about guitarists? Are there particular guitarists that you like, or particular guitar styles, or keyboard players, or which instrument do you respond to best?
Well, guitar, you know, it's just a guitar. I mean, without talking about Angus, which is just going to be obvious and sort of biased, you know, because to me, I just get off on him every night. Every time I see him, you know, I just go, oh, this man's not real. But I mean, other guitarists who have really impressed is John Williams. I think he's brilliant. Guy with a ZZ Top.
Take ZZ Top. Think about their earlier material. I mean, are there any tracks of theirs that you think are things that you care to play again and again and again?
Yeah, there's one, Lagrange by ZZ Top, of Tres Hombres album. Knockout, brilliant, I love it.
What about that track actually makes you go back to it again and again and again?
I don't know, I think it's just see, I really like basic music, and it's just that basic riff, you know, the lam bam 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 bam, and it's nothing, it's just old blues.
Brian, when you listen to all the back catalogue of AC/DC that you weren't involved in, the albums other than the 2 that you were on,
Right.
of all those tracks, which one do you think is the best?
Let's think now. No, Let There Be Rock was always one of my favourites, but I also like Highway to Hell. I like Dirty Deeds. Yeah, and I like She's Got Big Balls, because I think that's where I think Bon Scott was a bit of a genius, and I really mean a genius.
I don't know, maybe.
And it annoys me that nobody recognised him before, because he used to sing great words, write great words, but he had a little twist in everything he said. But nobody ever recognised the man at the time. Oh, great! When the man died, everybody was starting to say, "Oh yeah, he was a genius." That's too late, you know. Too late. It's not fair as well. I think he was clever, so clever, and I think he had such a distinct voice as well. It was brilliant. The collection of records I've got, the boys give us the whole set in case I needed to learn any songs that we had to do and all that. And I really do genuinely play them all the time for pleasure, not to listen to them, back to them or anything, or find out anything. I listen to them for pleasure, you know, because I really do genuinely like them. In the old band I was in, we used to do 2 or 3 of the songs on stage, you know. Rosie's a classic, as far as I'm concerned. Whole Lot of Rosie, it's a classic.
It's also
a great song, and it's a true story.
But there's always that undercurrent of reality written in songs, but people don't take it as being real. They always think it's a sort of fantasy land, but most really good songs are absolutely accurate to the day.
Oh yeah, well, I think all the songs on this album that we're doing, if you listen really carefully to them, is I'm going to say too much, you know. I'll get censored by the Beeb. Yeah, because I think they're going to take Let's Get It Up off as a single.
Yeah.
And if it gets tail on the Beeb, yeah,
it's about flags.
Oh, that's a good one, Tommy. Yes, yes, it's about flags, and probably, you know, we just wrote it. You know, when we wrote it, it was you know, it was a laugh, you know. But I mean, we wrote what had happened, you know. It was things that happened to you all in your life, you know. And but we wrote it in a roundabout kind of way, you know, loose lips sink ships. And going back, you know, reverting to the Second World War, you know, the old posters on the wall. But then again, you get the reference to lips and things like that. I'm not going to say any more, Tommy. I'm going to get myself into trouble.
Better play the song.
Aye.
And let people make their own minds up.
Aye, yeah. It's filth. It's pure filth, I tell you.
What did you think when that lunatic Geordie arrived through the door?
Which one was that one, mate?
Seriously, what did you think?
What? Yeah, actually, I didn't think about anything then. I just wish everybody back there has a bloody good Christmas, you know. Merry Christmas for everyone.
What was the first song that he sang?
With Brian, Whole Lot of Rosie.
And there's a story behind A Whole Lot of Rosie, and it seems that it's a real story. The song actually relates to a person.
It is a bit about a big bird, you know, big fat woman. And I tell you, I did see her. She was a big woman, you know. And he wasn't bragging.
It must be a bit weird, maybe not weird, but a bit strange for you to hear somebody else come through the door and sing a song like that. This has become a rock and roll anthem. And it wasn't Bon Scott who was singing it, but he was the person who was going to take over from Bon Scott, as far as you were concerned.
No, I don't think so, Tommy. No. It's all music, you know. It's still good, you know. It just goes on and on. It's like everything else, you know. Because we're sitting in a bar talking about it anyway. You've got two microphones stuffed in front of my face. That's probably more strange than having to replace a singer, you know. A guy that's sort of like really, you know, like been with you for a long time, then died, then you get another guy in. Then that goes on every day. You learn to live with it every day, you know. But look, you should talk to our bass player here.
But just before I do, I'd like to ask you what you remember about the very early days of AC/DC, when AC/DC was a struggling band, without any success at all.
I still
small gigs.
Yeah, I don't remember any of it.
Lying devil.
Nah.
The other lads. I asked this gentleman here a question. What was it like when Brian walked in and sang Whole Lot of Rosie?
What was it like?
Yeah.
He sang it good. It was good.
So was it an immediate choice?
Oh yeah, 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 for sure. Yeah, he was the only one. Yeah.
Nobody else came up.
Not really. No one else came sort of close to it. Yeah, it was obvious straight away. We were dead lucky actually because we only tried out about 10 or a dozen guys or something, and you know it was straight away. So that was that.
So I mean, the classic was we were sitting there. We had an audition with him from 8 o'clock or 8:30. I forget. There's a couple of guys coming in that night. We auditioned one guy, and then he come in. But what happened is, he didn't come in. He was downstairs playing snooker. There's a snooker table down the stairs. And he thought he was playing snooker with one of the guys in the band. You know, get the nerves out of him before he auditioned. But it wasn't anybody in the band. And we were all up in the room saying, where is this guy, you know? And then he comes and goes, oh, I've been down playing snooker. I thought I was down with one of you guys in the band. You know? So he's like, well, you missed your audition, yeah? Because he was such a funny lad. He told us a good joke. We thought, oh, well, you know, definitely, he's worth a chance, this lad, you know?
What was the first rock and roll record you ever listened to?
Oh, I don't know. It could have been anything. It could have been Hank Williams, you know? Can't really remember. My favourite record of all time, though, is Get Back by the Beatles, though. Definitely my favourite record, you know?
Why do you like it so much?
Brilliant. Best song I've ever heard. That's magic. Merry Christmas.
It's your turn. Now we're going to...
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Choose about 3 or 4 records. I'd like to know what your sort of musical taste is. Because they do tell me you do have taste, Cliff.
Who told you that?
A liar. Your brother.
Oh God, I haven't got one. Well, I better get one. three favourite songs, as I said before, definitely White as Shade of Pale. It's got to be one of them.
Why would it be White as Shade of Pale? Was it one of the first records you heard that you really thought was
I'll tell you
amazing?
what it was. Is when I used to work in a factory, an engineer in Liverpool, and it was the song we always used to put on the jukebox in the lunch break when we go to the pub. So, and I heard it every day for months and months and months.
Where was the factory?
It was in Upper Milk Street, just round the back of Lime Street in Liverpool.
Is that where you were born?
No. I was born in London, but I was brought up. My folks moved when I was about 9, 10 to Liverpool, so I spent most of my first, working years there, 2 years.
So basically you're a sort of London via Scousland, Hawaii resident.
Yeah.
Okay, Cliff, well, it's back to you. So we've had what? White as Shade of Pale so far.
Yeah.
And what else?
An old one, 8 Miles High by the Byrds, is an old favourite.
I would agree with you. I think it's a real classic. And that 12-string guitar that they always used to use has got an incredible sound to it. Do you find that aspect of it attractive?
Well, that was the Byrds sound, wasn't it?
Yes. Give over here, Mal.
All right then.
Right, we're choosing records.
Yes.
Records by other people that you think are worthwhile playing on the radio this time of year. In fact, any time of year.
Well, it's Christmas, isn't it? So we definitely got to give old John Lennon a run. Isn't it Christmas, right? And Won't Get Fooled Again by The Who.
Right. Why John Lennon? Is it down to the fact that you think he's a great songwriter or what?
Yeah, well, the guy was great, but the thing is, it's Christmas, and his song isn't all about Christmas. It's a great Christmas song, without being everybody's Christmas song. Everybody had a "We Wish You Remember It." So we got, I think that's a great song. And then The Who, Won't Get Fooled Again.
Okay, well, first John Lennon. Here he is. Right, that was John Lennon, and that was Mal's choice.
Now we get on to The Who now. Won't Get Fooled Again. It's not a Christmas song in the Christmas spirit, but it's a great song as a rock and roll song, Yeah. So I think that should be number 2, definitely. And then number 3, Jumpin' Jack Flash by the Stones.
Okay, well, first we'll have The Who. Here they are. Right, that was The Who. And now we're going to get on to Jumping Jack Flash by the Stones.
That's right, yeah.
Right, but all the things that you've chosen, they're all pretty, if you like, in terms of years, quite old.
It's because I'm old.
But you're not that old.
I am.
You really are.
No. He's not drunk. No, if he's drunk, he wouldn't be talking. He'd be on his back, wouldn't he? No, I think they're great songs because they're really they're rock and roll, That's the best, the most important thing. I don't hear much rock and roll these days.
They're driving songs.
Nah, all the way.
In other words, they just drive through.
Yeah, they just hang there. They'll be there for years. I mean, they'll be there for another 50 years. They're like classics of all time, and that's why I love them, And they're the first 3 that come to a head because it's Christmas. I probably wouldn't have said the Lennon song, but because it is Christmas, I definitely think it's a good choice,
Okay, and this is Jumping Jack Flash.
This is Lennon.
No, we've had Lennon.
No, we haven't.
Oh, yes, we have.
In your interview, we have. But we have.
Right, does anybody want to say hello to anybody in England? I mean, back in the United Kingdom. What about you, Cliff? You're spending...
Yeah, I'd like to say hello to Jim and Ellen from Muswell Hill and Merry Christmas.
Relatives?
No, friends. Well, they were last time I was on.
What about you, Brian? Is there anybody you'd like to say hello to on this edition of Family Favourites?
I say hello to everybody in BFP or 40, whoever that is. No, just all the best to all the lads up in Newcastle. Socios Legion Club, Wickham Cricket Club, all my family, and best wishes to everybody, and a happy new year. And I'll be back. Just watch out for the right arm action of Johnson on that tiny glass.
On the Harley Davidson.
Oh yeah, I heard it's snowing over here now, but that could be in dock till about March anyway. But I wish everybody all the best, because I know it's a tough time out there at the minute. Everybody's having a bad time. But no, I mean, it's Christmas.
What about you, Mel? Do you have anybody that you talk to over there in the United Kingdom, or you're down?
Right then, right, here we go. Right, I sang out all the road crew, Wog, Jake, Ian, Mark, and we got Dickie, and we got, who else have we got? We got Tez, yeah. Scarfy, yeah.
Mickey Maguire in Newcastle.
Oh, that's another Geordie, yeah. We got Mallard, yeah. We're missing out the Buffin. We got Jake in there. We'll put him in again, though. We got Keith in there, haven't we? Eh? Keith. The one he's a sneaky one. And his new baby that's coming up just on the day before Christmas, which is yesterday when you hear this. Yeah. And I like to say hello to Trevor and Lorraine and who else you think?
All your Scottish.
All my Scottish relatives and Walt in bed there for Plymouth.
You said just about hello to half the population of the UK.
That's our road.
No, that's just, yeah. But we will like to say hello to Brian because Brian will be back in Newcastle.
I'll be
You're about listening, yeah. And Carol, and little Joanne, and Carla. His two kids. She's getting, two smashing little lassies.
They're like John Lennon.
Yeah.
See, they've got to have
There you
some
go.
sense.
Little kids, yeah.
So would you like to dedicate a track to all those people that you mentioned?
Bing Crosby's White Christmas.
There you go. What did you say?
Right, here's Bing Crosby and White Christmas. Dragged you down from the top of the Christmas tree, which is normally actually you're at the top of the stage and I'm at the top of the Christmas tree. And now I'd like you to think about some of the records that you've heard over the years by other people that you like.
Geez, I can't think too quickly on it. Aretha Franklin, Respect. I like that song.
What about that do you like? Do you like the soulful feel of the voice or the backing or just the overall sound?
I like the whole thing, just the feel of it, the rhythm and that, and her voice is great on it. I think that's when she could really build it out. I like a lot of the old stuff.
Do you like a lot of the old stuff in the same vein? I mean, that sort of Stax, Atlantic sound, which is what you're talking about, I think. There.
Yeah, some of them. A few others. I like. At the time, things like even with the Four Tops, Bernadette.
All right, we'll start off with this good lady and her song Aretha Franklin and Respect. Right, that was Aretha Franklin and Respect. What about guitarists? Are there any guitarists? I mean, you being a very flamboyant lead guitarist, are there any guitarists that you really sit down and listen to or care about or try to emulate?
Daffy Duck, Bugs Bunny. Geez, that's a hard one. Because what I used to always like best was, for something like me, I always like something that swings, A lot of guitars don't swing, So I never really liked the traditional sort of guitarist like you'd see. Most people would like the Claptons or the Hendrix or Jimmy Page or something like that. I always liked. I would hear somebody on the radio, and I would never remember who it was, But I heard somebody the other day playing. It was in Chicago on a blues thing, and I thought that was good. It was more like a clarinet. That's how I like. If I heard something I always liked the sound of a clarinet. If a guitar could sound like a clarinet because it's dead mellow and it swings, And then it's more like a rhythm thing. It makes the audience move with it. It makes it more exciting. So, but for somebody like that, I think about the closest that would come to that would be somebody like Chuck Berry, somebody like that, or B.B. King can make it swing. People like that.
But that really is not the way that you play the guitar. I'm sure you can play the guitar that way, but you don't play the guitar that way on stage.
Yeah. Well, I try. Yeah, I know. I don't know where or where. I used to pick a lot off Malcolm and that, and anything else. But I learn, that's where I learn is on the stage. Anything I play. I've never really because I was never that good to sit down and copy something.
I mean, you need talent for that, you know? But I think if I got it from anyone, I think I get it from more like Malcolm, you know, or saxophones or clarinets, you know, because they play and they, you know, that's who I think I can sound like, you know. As long as it's rocking, you know, I'm happy.
So really, I mean, you're completely self-taught.
Yeah, you could say that. Self-indulgence, yeah.
Let's think of a second record that you might like to play.
Let's see. I always liked Little Richard's voice. You know? 'Cause he always had a very powerful, wild, screaming thing. You know? And I always loved these, like Lucille, Long Tall Sally. I loved all those types of songs. They were great. I mean, you're great for a party. Put on one of them.
Gets everybody going.
Yeah, well, you just hear these voices coming out.
Lucille, by the remarkable Richard Penniman, a.k.a. Little Richard, the geezer that's been rocking around the Christmas tree for years and years and years. Do you have any memories about the early days, the very, very early days? In fact, can you remember the first time that the original unit, AC/DC, went on stage, and where?
I remember it was a New Year's thing. It was 74. It was going into 74. The band had been together about 2 weeks, and we were booked to do. I was in a club, and it was the New Year's thing. You know, like what would you call it? Celebration, New Year's celebration. You know, like Kenny Everett type, except worse. And we had to. That's right. We had to get on and play. I think it was a few sets, 45 minutes or something like that. They used to go brackets. You know, we're going to do a bracket here. You know. Sounded like you were going to get nailed to the floor. So we had to get up and blast away. You know. But from the moment go, it went great. You know, because everyone thought, oh, these guys are a pack of loonies. You know, who's been feeding them the booze? You know? So it was. That was the first one I can remember. I remember cha-cha-cha and all around the place too. They tend to do that thing in Australia when they've had a lot to drink.
Now you got a #1 album in the States.
Yeah. Printing error, I see.
Only because he used to be a printer.
Yeah, it's true, yeah. A bad one too.
You put a lot of work into it, haven't you? I mean, you haven't really relied on hit singles. It's been albums and tours.
Yeah, basically albums and touring. It was the touring started it. You know. We usually, if we went into a place, I mean, we went in small and then it just got bigger. You know.
Must be very gratifying, though, to see it, you know, culminate, to use a posh BBC word, in a #1 album in America. I mean, that is like the top of the tree, Christmas or otherwise.
Well, as I say, I mean, I got a lot of friends, huh? The Chinese mafia. But, yeah, I suppose it is, it's good, it's great and everything. You know? I'm still waiting on me check, though. You know?
You're a man that's known very much for your physical antics on stage, and you really, I don't know how you do it, without breaking both your legs every night. Have you ever really hurt yourself?
Well, I'm walking with a limp at the moment. No, I've never really done myself any damage. You know? I mean, I've had a few cuts, scrapes and bruises and things. But funny enough, it's always been not from doing the actual what I'm doing. I've never, it's usually something stupid, you know, like, you know, you walk off stage and go through the floor or something. Never anything bad on the stage, you know. Just get a little cut every now and again. Or an ingrown toenail. Or a bottle from an irate customer, you know.
Is there anybody in the UK that you'd like to say Happy Christmas to or otherwise, or tell them to drop dead or whatever you like?
Geez, who can I say hello to? I've got a few relations in Scotland. I can say hello to them. Hello, Scotland.
Well, it's cheaper than the Christmas card, you see.
It is true, yeah. Cheaper than Telex. Yeah. And we wish all the, I think the band would wish all the kids who buy the records. Only the ones who buy the records. Merry Christmas. And a Happy New Year.
Well, in return for the greetings that you send them, I'll send you greetings as well and wish you a happy Christmas.
Oh, thank you, Tommy. Huh?
I'll be likely to see you in the UK in '82.
Probably, if you look pretty hard. I mean, I get out at the Heathrow. I mean, I'm always wandering around London. I'm lucky that.
As a band, as a unit, are there any set plans? What do you think the chances are? I mean, last year you just did one at Donington.
Yeah, I think we'll probably do something. More than likely, though, something. We're hoping to do something special, something good. Maybe the audience can play for us, and we can watch them.
And there you have it, everybody. That was AC/DC's Christmas party, which I sincerely hope you enjoyed, and it gave you an insight into just exactly how genuine the people in the band are. And I'd like to thank everybody in the band for the assistance that I had from them directly. That, of course, is Brian and Angus and Mal and Phil and also Cliff. But not only that, also the road crew as well. Every single member of their road crew, including their couple of heavy guys who look after them, Wally being one of them, gave me all the assistance that I think I've never had such a good time with a rock and roll band ever. I'd also like to thank Carl from WEA Records in the United Kingdom for his assistance, totally invaluable. And Ian, who's the fellow that's actually in Japan today with his Japanese wife, though he does come from the United Kingdom, he gave a lot of assistance as well. Tony Wilson produced the programme, didn't you, Wilson? He's here.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Good one, wasn't it? Tasty. And also our engineers were Steve and John. My name's Tommy Vance. Good night.
A message to all our fans from Boston, from the lads. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.